Good morning, everybody, from Edmonds, Washington. Thanks for joining us on our first webcast. Hopefully these solar flares that we were bothered with yesterday will not be blasting away at Earth today, and we'll get through this without losing communication. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Hopefully this will become a weekly feature every Saturday morning. I'd like to thank our sponsors who helped us out today to get us going, who trusted in us to come up and come to the plate and work with us. This first segment, we've got three segments today, is sponsored by RV Power Outlet, which provides a full line of electric service boxes and pedestals identical to those found in RV parks. Set these up at your home for use with your own RV or for your RV or guests who want to hook up. Oh, a couple little news items here, little things for you to pay attention to. If you're watching this on the RV Travel newsletter, the little box that's on the top, you might want to click on that and go to YouTube so you can participate in the chat. We will have a couple contests later on in the show. And I think right now, what we're going to do today, and this show is going to evolve over time, but what we're going to do today is I've got Chris Doherty here with me, who's our technical editor for RVTravel.com. Chris is also a certified RV technician, and we are going to take some questions from readers that we've received in the last month or so, and we're going to answer some of those and do our best. And hopefully, Chris, you will not drop off into cyberspace or whatever space as you did yesterday. So anyway, Chris, I'd like to welcome you from Springfield, Massachusetts.
Thank you. It's good to be here, Chuck.
And I will also, again, like to welcome all of you who are watching, those of you in the West Coast who are watching it in the AM, those of you in the East, in the PM, afternoon, and I'm sure we've got a few people on from Europe and around the world. So whatever time it is there, we welcome you. So Chris, how you doing?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You call me sir. Is that because I'm old?
No, that's just part of my upbringing.
All right.
A bit of a habit.
Okay. All right. You got anything to say before we start answering some questions here?
Well, this is an exciting project for sure, and we're delighted to have everybody with us here on the RV Travel channel for RV Talk Live, and I'm looking forward to getting this going and doing more over time. So I think this will be great.
And those of you that have any questions as we go along here, if you are a subscriber to YouTube, you can participate in the live chat. It will be to the right of the window where you're seeing this. And I hope you will ask questions as you go along. Chris and I will do our best to answer the questions. However, I'm sure that there are going to be those of you out there who are going to have something to add, and we'll try to address that. And also, if you're not a subscriber to our channel, you'll see a little subscribe button that's right below the picture. Please click that, and you'll find out, be the first to find out about our new videos and about future webcasts. So, I have got a question for you, Chris. Are you ready?
I sure am. Let's do it.
Let's see if I can find it here. Where are the questions for Chris? All right, here we go. This is from Janet Stark, and most of these people did not let us know where they were from, so I'll just have to use their name and sometimes their first name. She said, I want to have my slide out removed for good and the wall enclosed. I also want a new floor, which now leaks when the wind blows rain. How much trouble would this be to do, and how costly would it be?
Well, Janet, this is a pretty tough project to get involved in. Removing a slide out is not that big a deal. It's sealing the wall in, making it look right, and then you have some weight and balance issues in the coach that come from that. When a coach is designed by the RV manufacturer, they design it with the slide out in place. So when you remove that weight, it can sometimes upset that a little bit. Is it possible to do? Yeah, absolutely. It would take quite a bit of work to seal that up, but it could be done. As far as cost is concerned, it just depends on the coach and how much damage has been done by the water leak and how much you have to do to change the floor. But it wouldn't be an inexpensive job for sure. That's basically kind of what you're looking at.
Yeah, and she says it's been leaking, so she's probably got some issues with that floor, I would think, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I talk a lot about that in my blogs and in other articles that I do, that leaking is a major cause of severe damage to RVs. And a lot of times, by the time you've noticed that you have a leak and you've started to notice damage, you actually have a lot of damage that you haven't seen already. And that can be a concern. And the problem with fixing those kinds of problems is that when you start to dig into it, you start to take things apart, that you find more and more damage. And that's when it gets more involved and more costly, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay, that's good. So I hope that answered that question. Here's one from Danny. He says, I own a Class C motorhome. My question is, while cruising down the road, is it okay and safe to have the fridge running on gas? Some people don't, some people do. Your expert advice is much appreciated. And as you know, Chris, this is a question that comes up over and over and over again, and it seems everybody has a different opinion on it. We ran that video from you the other day where you were actually showing what could happen when a blown tire underneath would, in that particular case, where the slide out, where the electric and the propane were going together into the slide out, the kitchen, where having the gas on the tire could have hit the line and caused a spark and really done some serious damage. So what do you think?
Well, I look at this from or actually three standpoints. The first standpoint is, as an RVer, I was a full-time RVer for 10 years, and I've been using them certainly all of my adult life, but even since I was a kid. So I know how useful it is to have the refrigerator on when you're going down the road. It's certainly a lot more convenient. But I also spent a long career in the fire service, emergency services, and so I know what hazards there are with propane gas. And in the case that I did the video, it looked like there could be damage if a tire or something were to let go. And in a lot of travel trailers and fifth wheels, the propane lines are underneath the coach, which is per code. So if you hit something as you're going down the road, hit an alligator, as they call them, or a tire retread from a big truck, or you hit something else in the road, or you have a tire blow out of your own, if you damage one of those propane lines, you could have a problem. So from a safety standpoint, it's better to not have the propane on in the coach, especially a trailer when you're going down the road. Some motorhomes now, the propane is up closer to the floor and you have other structure around it. But then from the emergency services standpoint, if you get in an accident, that can create a problem if one of those lines is punctured. So it's always safer to not have it on. As far as using the refrigerator, though, there are some things that you can do to keep your food cold while you're going down the road in between stops. And Chuck, I think you recently did a video about that.
Yeah, well, that's on our channel if anybody wants to go there. I want to once again thank RVPowerOutlet.com for sponsoring this first segment. Our friend Wade Elliott there, who's been great, and he's anybody who wants to have has got guests that come over that want to hook up, that little extension cord way out there, that can be dangerous. Check out RVPowerOutlet.com and see what they've got. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're done with Danny. George Bishop, he wrote, we own a 2006 25-foot high-low classic trailer. I'd like to mount a Class 2 hitch on the frame. This would give me the mount I need for a 2-bike rack. To offset the weight shift, I would install a 75-pound weight just forward of the steps of the center of the frame. What do you think of this setup? I can't imagine that it's a good idea to be adding weight, but you're the expert. What do you say?
Well, a lot of people do that. There are actually receivers that are designed to go on the back of a trailer and for mounting something like a bike rack. And a 2-bike rack is really not a heck of a lot of weight to put on there. As far as adding an additional 75 pounds of weight, I don't recommend that. When you're dealing with a trailer and you're trying to figure out, okay, the weight balance between the rear of the coach and the front of the coach, the front of the coach is supported by the tongue of the trailer, which is on the suspension of the tow vehicle, or if you have a weight distribution system, it changes that a little bit and splits that load up. But really, adding that 75 pounds is just going to add 75 pounds of weight to that high-low trailer. Having that load on the back I don't think two bicycles and that hitch is really going to be that much of a difference, but you may have to adjust your hitch height a little bit and just see how the trailer handles
Yeah.
to do that. But if you talk to the dealer that's going to install it, install that hitch, they should be able to guide you on that and look at your specific coach and see what the weight ratings and things are. What's most important is that you don't want to overload the coach. So you need to be within the gross vehicle weight rating of that trailer.
I suppose they could put a bike rack on the top of the tow vehicle too, you know? I mean, that's certainly an option.
Sure, and a high-low is relatively low. It's about the same height as the tow as a lot of tow vehicles
Yeah.
when the roof comes down. So you could put a bike rack on the top of that even and still be in good shape.
Yeah. Anybody got anything to add to this? You know, use the chat function on the, even if you just want to say hello. Maybe I'm just not seeing the chat here, but please join in with us. There's 170 of you online right now. Okay, I got another question for you, Chris. You ready?
I am.
This is an unusual one. Never heard this one before. Can you replace a rung on the ladder in the back of your motorhome? If so, where can you buy one? So I assume they're talking about the ladder that comes with the RV, not just a ladder you would pull out of your garage and put up there. So what do you do if one breaks?
There are a lot of parts that are changeable on a rear ladder. They have the standoffs and the little star nuts that go inside that you can change because those standoffs and things will hold water, and those little nuts are not protected from the water and will rust and eventually fail and can bend. So I've done a lot of changes to that. As far as actually changing the rung of a ladder, I've not personally seen them available. There are a number of different ladder manufacturers out there and have been over the years. Usually when we get to a point where there's that kind of damage, if we can't repair it, we're changing the ladder, putting a new ladder on the coach.
Yeah, okay. All right, here's one. This is from Leona Howard, and she says, we are novices at RVing, but since I plan to start traveling a few months a year now that I'm widowed, I am seeking information on the best RV clubs to join to save money at campsites. I've had Passport America, but few sites we traveled accepted their membership. Good Sam's gives such a small discount, it hardly seems worth to join. Well, I'll take this, Chris. First, Good Sam is sort of essential. You know, you're going to get your 10% off. However, AAA and sometimes AARP card will also get you that 10% off. The AAA card will almost do it for you. I think Passport America is well worth it. For those of you who don't know, I'm not sure what the fee is, $39, $40, maybe it's less than that a year. There's literally hundreds of campgrounds that will honor it and give you half price at their sites, for a day or for a week, and you really are going to get your money back awful fast. FMCA, Family Motor Coach Association, if you have a motorhome, is a good association to join, good club. Definitely fmca.com, you should check into that. If you stay at KOAs, get one of their discount cards. It'll cost you a few bucks, but over time you'll save money. If you stay at KOAs and you don't have one of your cards, then you're just paying too much. Leona, you might also want to check out RVing Women, which is a really good site for women, and highly recommend that. Can you think of anybody else, Chris?
Yeah, in addition to that, Escapees is a good club to belong to, especially for full-time travelers or seasonal travelers.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. We're just about to come up to our second segment, so I think we have got a little short segment here. A little quick tip from Jeanette Turner, who works with us. So take a look at that, and we will be right back.
Make smart use of limited space in your RV by purchasing a small ironing board with short folding legs. Some models are only about 30 inches long. Store it by attaching it to the back wall of the closet behind the clothing with a hook and loop fastener.
Well, that disclaimer reminds me, Chris and I are doing our best here to be accurate, but always check with an expert RV technician, someone who knows what they're doing, and make sure that, we didn't say something here that might be misleading or not quite right or whatever. So before you spend any money, please check out with a professional. This is our second segment. Time's going fast. This is sponsored by RV Comfort Systems. manufacturers of the patented cheap heat electric hybrid kits for RV gas furnaces. With the cheap heat system installed on your RV, switch from LP gas to electric heat at the flip of a switch, and you will save propane. Thank you, RV Comfort Systems, for helping us out here. Yeah, nobody's chatting, I don't think. That's kind of unusual. If you're watching this on the RV Travel newsletter, we embedded it in there. You're not going to see the chat, so click on the screen there and go to the actual page, and you'll see the chat on the right. You have to have a YouTube account, so you might want to sign up for that later. If you don't, you're not going to see the chat. But it's there for you to use. And I'm real surprised because when we've done this in the past, we've had a lot of people chatting. So
We have a few. I have the automatic updates on, Chuck, and
oh, okay.
so there's a few that as recently as about 30 seconds ago.
Okay, well, you keep tabs of those, Chris, because I'm not seeing them.
Okay.
Okay, Chris, do you have anything to say before we go on? I got another question for you.
There was just one question from Roger M. He says, regarding the discount card, do some online searches for locations you expect to stay at and look for RV park info to see who offers a discount? And this will help decide which club to join. You can also go to the sites for those clubs. So whether it's FMCA or Good Sam or whomever offers the discount, you'll be able to take a look on there and see which parks are part of their system. And that's especially important with the discount club you mentioned, Chuck, that they give the discount per night. It's only good for certain nights with certain parks, so they need to take a look at that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of options, and you know, in this day and age, when you're paying $30, $40 a night for an RV space, it really adds up. You know, I mean, there's those people that stay at Walmart for free, and you know, that's an option for sure. Of course, that's not a place to camp; it's a place to stay when you're tired and you can't find anything else. But yeah, any of the clubs, Escapees is a great club, and RVing Women for Women, as I highly RVwomen.com, I highly recommend. Oh, I have a good question for you, Chris.
Okay.
I'm really curious about this one. This one is very, I haven't heard this one before. It's from Pat. Pat says, no matter how many times we use our drain or hot water tank, the water comes out very stinky, kind of like boiled eggs. We have clean water going in, so we know it's not that. Our fresh water is always fine. Just the hot water is bad. Even if we do not heat the water in the hot water tank, it still stinks. So, have you come across that one, Chris? Because that's new to me.
Yes, I sure have. And it's pure biology, Chuck. It is because of a growth inside the hot water tank, and that is what's causing the smell. Now, how do you fix that? Well, the first thing to do is if your RV water heater has an anode rod, I would take it out and replace it. Those of you who have anode rods and have changed them before, if you've looked at them, you'll see they get very pitted, and that's a great place to hold various microorganisms. Then after that is to sanitize your water system. There are a couple of ways of doing that. One is with just plain chlorine bleach. You mix a quarter cup of chlorine bleach to 1 gallon of water per 15 gallons of freshwater tank capacity. Put that in your freshwater tank and fill it, and then you're going to run it through the entire system, including the hot water tank, until you smell the chlorine come out of the faucet. Let it sit a minimum of 3 hours. I've let it sit overnight before in my own coaches, and it's been just fine. And then you can flush it out afterwards. Now, if you don't like the idea of the chlorine, and with a situation like that, where you have that growth going on, I really do recommend that. But if you don't like that, there are some other products, including some by Camco, that are as a fresh water conditioner or water freshener, which is to put in the system at the beginning of the season to help freshen the water, and that's another option for you.
Okay, all right.
But it's again plain chlorine bleach is the key to that.
Okay, all right. We have a chat question here from Abby Carmen, who said, what is the best book for beginning full-timer and boondocker? Well, we have a few at rvbookstore.com. Abby, so I would check there. and just read through the descriptions and see which one you think is appropriate for you. They're all good. We don't put anything up there that we don't think is not valuable. So, beginning full-timer, yeah, I think we've got a couple books that are good on that. So, check that out. That's the best recommendation without going into details, and frankly, I can't remember all the books we've got there right now. Here's another chat message. Chris, maybe you can take this one. From Scott Payne, are typical refrigerators and trailers three-way or two-way, meaning can they run off of battery along with gas or electricity?
The answer to that question is most of them are two-way that you see in travel trailers and motorhomes. However, some trailers, small trailers, pop-ups, that type of thing, will have a small three-way fridge. Truck campers will sometimes have three-way refrigerators in them. If it's not a standard, it's an option. So it just depends on the model that's out there,
Okay.
which RV you pick up.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see. Here's another question from Debbie. She says, we have a used RV that only has a satellite dish. I think they had the antenna replaced with a dish. We don't want to watch a lot of TV and went on trips, but it would like to have the option. I've thought that we could replace the dish with a Winegard antenna, or can we use one of the flat antennas, or are they any good? What are the other options are there? Without going into great detail, Chris, because we don't have an hour, what do you think?
Yes, if they replaced the TV antenna with one of the crank-up satellite dishes, the older Winegard ones, then yes, you can absolutely replace it and put a crank-up TV antenna back on there. You can add a Winegard crank-up antenna, no problem, or one of the Jack TV antennas, or whatever you choose to put on there. The Razor by Winegard is a very good antenna. A lot of people have been talking about that. I've seen some good reviews on it. I haven't tested it myself yet. And they've just come out with a product called the Razor Air, which is a replacement for the current Batwing antenna. And that uses that Razor element. So that also helps to bring in the digital TV very nicely. So yeah, you do have some options there.
Okay. I want to thank again RV Comfort Systems for sponsoring this segment. Larry Magaw there, who's been great, who's been a supporter of ours for a long time. And they make the cheap heat system, which is increasingly being installed in a lot of RVs, where you can just flip a switch and then you can use propane or use electricity instead of using up your propane, save that for other things. So thank you very much, Larry, for being a part of this. And if you have a business and you'd like to get involved here, you're seeing we only got a couple hundred people watching live, and that'll always be the case. We'll never have a big audience, but thousands, if not tens of thousands, or even 100,000 people will see this in the archives. So please give me a call, Chuck at RV, or email me at chuck@rvtravel.com. I'll be happy to get back to you and furnish you with details. Also, if you are an expert on some aspect of RVing and would like to be a guest, as Chris is here today, via Skype or in our studio, please let me know, and I'll talk to you. We'll have a talk, and if you've got something good to say of interest to RVers to help them out, then absolutely, we'd love to have you come on. This show will be evolving into different segments, and so please contact me. Okay, question. Randy McDonald says, I am a single RVer with an untreated heart condition. I'm not ready to stop RVing. Good for you, Randy. When I stay at an RV park, usually for 1 to 3 weeks, should I tell the office about my condition? Well, I think that's pretty much a given. That it can't hurt to let someone know that you do have this problem. Ask them to check out for you. Ask a neighbor. I mean, if you feel that, you're alone, who's going to know if something happens? You might want to ask your neighbor or knock on your door. I just think that's probably a good idea. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And this comes from my EMS background too. You need to have people around you or in your, in your zone, as I like to say, that are aware of your condition. And the other thing that you need to do is have your information readily available for emergency responders or people who are trying to help you. There was the old Vial of Life program, which some fire departments and EMS agencies participate in today. And even if you don't have that, have an envelope or something by the door of your coach or mounted on the refrigerator or inside the refrigerator that has all of your current information, your current medications and list of doctors and contacts, phone numbers, things like that. And then you can also do some things with your cell phone, like have an ICE contact, or in case of emergency contact, emergency responders are looking for those in your phone.
Yeah, another thing is I've always thought about is I've stayed in parks where I didn't even know where I was. I'd go to a Forest Service campground, I'd go into an RV park. I wouldn't really pay any attention to it, excuse me, what the name of it was or where it was. Excuse me. I think it's a really good idea to know the name of your park, write the emergency number down, and if you have to call for help, at least you know where you are. I mean, I don't know if you're in the middle of nowhere and you call and say, I'm having a heart attack, and they say, where are you? And you say, I don't know. You're not going to make it. So,
absolutely.
know where you are.
Yep.
Get the emergency numbers, have them handy. I mean, even if you don't have any health issues, to me, that's pretty evident and a good idea. Here's a question from SL Driver. How do you get rid of mosquitoes already in your RV when turning in for the night? Well, fly swatters. I don't know. That's why you buy an RV with light-colored walls, with white walls instead of, wood, because those mosquitoes, they're camouflaged so we humans can't see them on wood paneling. I don't know how you get rid of them. You swat them, I guess. That's what I do. What else can you do?
Well, there's a store called Harbor Freight, and at Harbor Freight and other places, they have an electric fly swatter, and it's a little battery-powered thing, and it's like a bug zapper in the form of a tennis racket, small, or a racket, ball racket. And you just push the little button, and you can go right through, and it will zap the bugs for you right then and there. So and they're only $3 to $5 a piece. They're very inexpensive. We keep them in the house in the RV, so if bugs do get in, we can take care of the problem.
Those are lots of fun at parties too. I mean, everybody wants, because you hear that zap,
And the little sparks and everything.
Oh,
like
it's
the 4th of
great.
July.
I'm not going to go into this. I'm sure there's people out there that, don't like us talking about killing insects, but, house flies. I once, I was doing a story and it was on a farm and with lots of cows and horses. And I did a video, this was a long, long time ago. And it was about all the flies. And I was just being crazy. But I wish I would have had one of those there. It would have been beyond fun, but enough about that. Excuse me. Ugh. Somebody bring me some water, please. My wife would like me to install a self-contained washer-dryer on our fifth wheel, such as a Splendide 7100 XC washer-dryer. What are the pros and cons of such units? Do they work well?
Okay. Well, I had two coaches that had that washer dryer unit in it, and I will say that for me, they work very well. I have a lot of horse and entertainment customers that have those units in them, and that even use them full time, and they don't seem to have a lot of problems. So I think that they're pretty good. What's kind of fun about them is that you put your clothes in dry and you take them out dry. So it takes care of everything for you. Couple of things that you need to know. First, you have to have the cabinet to put it in with the hookups, or that's going to make it a little bit more difficult to install, a little bit more expensive. And the second thing that you need to keep in mind is that they are smaller, so your loads need to stay smaller. So you're not going to do as much laundry at one time, but because it's right there in your coach, you'll be able to do it more frequently. Third thing is that you have to make sure that you're on full hookups when you use it. You need to have a place for the wastewater to go, so you're going to have a sewer hookup, and then as well as the water intake to feed the unit. Okay. They don't use a tremendous amount of water, but because of the rinse cycles and the wash cycles, they do, over the course of all the cycles, use a fair amount. Okay,
great. All right, well, this brings us to the end of our second segment, so we're going to start up with our third one here, and that's being sponsored by Hatchlift Products, manufacturers of full line of RV lift kits and accessories. The kits are available for outside storage doors and for inside storage compartments under the bed. Make opening and holding open your storage compartment doors a breeze. Learn more at hatchlift.com. And these are really great. I mean, you can see in one of these photos here where the guy's kind of holding up his storage unit with his head. And I mean, I've been there, done that. And this makes it really easy. They're easy to install. You probably installed a few, Chris, huh?
I have. I did. Well, we did a test for it about a year or so ago. And, one of the things is when you have a travel trailer or fifth wheel that doesn't have something like the hatch lift system, you put the door up against the coach and you have the little clip that goes on it, but there's just a little bit of that clip that holds it.
Yeah.
So if you move the coach just right, that clip slips and the thing comes down and whacks you right in the noggin.
Yeah, I've had that happen, so I know all about that.
Yep.
We have a question here from Kenneth Fuller. He says, I just purchased a used coach that has the Girard instant hot water heater. Is there any danger of ruining the unit if you run out of water from your water tank while in use? And again, Chris, without going into great detail, answer that, and also tell me what we were talking about the other day about tankless water systems and that one issue that you brought up.
Yeah, well, the tankless water heaters, it's a great green idea for sure. And the way these heaters work is with water flow. So it has a rotary vane type switch inside, and as you're flowing water, it will activate the water heater. If you run out of water, the rotary vane switch will not activate and it will shut the heater down. So to answer your question there, no, there is no danger of that. These are pretty good. I've heard some people, I've never owned one myself, I've heard some people with some issues that when they use very, very little water, like if they're in the shower and they put the shower nozzle on a drip setting, the water goes cold and then they have to turn it on and wait for some water to go through to get the hot water back. So that's one of the issues that I've heard with them. On the positive side of it, though, is that it doesn't have a tank, and so it's only heating the water as it's being used, which is certainly more energy efficient.
Okay. All right, here's one. Phil, oh boy, Ricciello. I bet I botched that one. I'm looking for information on RVing. Sorry, Phil. I'm looking for information on RVing as a single person. My wife is very ill and is expected to pass away. I'm sorry to hear that, Phil. I want to continue RVing. I'm 65 and money is not an issue. Yeah, it's funny. You spend your life traveling with a companion and really enjoying your travels, whether it's RVing or something else, and one person gets sick and or dies, and there you are by yourself. And it's really different as a person who's done a lot of traveling as a single person and with others. It's a different ballgame when you're out there by yourself. There's a really good group that I would recommend, Loners on Wheels, lonersonwheels.com, I believe, and that's for single people, single RVers. It's been around a long time. They have a lot of get-togethers, so Phil, I would check that out. Also, you find chapters of Family Motor Coach Association, Good Sam, that have singles groups. Chris, escapees, anything come to mind?
Again, the chapters of both Good Sam and Family Motor Coach Association, finding like-minded people that are in the same situation as you're in. There are plenty of them out there, and it makes for some great camaraderie and a great support group while you're on the road. Yeah,
and this question comes mostly from women, or often from women, whose husbands die, and they just don't want to give it up. And that's why I say RVing Women is such a good group, such a good support group. They do get together often, and they're a good website. And for women, this is really a phenomenal resource.
And the other thing, too, if you belong to a group, either online or a chapter or something like that of one of the big clubs, put it on our YouTube chat here, and contact information. So others who may be interested in joining your group can find a place there to do that.
Okay. That's good. Here's one, Chris, this one definitely for you. Tom Jordan just got a new to us, 5-year-old motorhome. I replaced the one 12-volt old battery with two 6 volts. I have room for 2 more. Would it benefit us to add 2 more even if we don't plan on boondocking? Will the 2 we have be sufficient?
I think the 2 that you have will probably be sufficient if you're not going to be doing any boondocking. You have quite a good amount of reserve amps there, so you should be fine. If you were going to do some more involved boondocking, if you were going to use something like an inverter system, then it helps to be able to add more batteries to that. But I think you're probably fine doing what you're doing.
Here's another one for you, Chris, about tires. The tire shop wants to put Dyna beads in my tires for balancing my 2012 Chevy Dually. Do they work or should I avoid them?
I have heard of people putting in beads in their tires. There's a few different products in there that go within the airspace of the tire to help balance the tire and to improve handling. I have not had any personal experience with them. What I would recommend that you do is maybe do a little bit of searching online and see if you can find some other people that have had that product in there. You can do a search for, Dynabead reviews or whatnot. Just see if there's some other people. And again, to our readers out there, send us a note if you've had them, you've had any issues, if you have some good things. Either way, let us know, and we'll try to address that and put it up on rvmaintenancetips.com.
Okay, here's one from Phil and Nicole that just came in. What is the best way to run down an electrical problem? I keep blowing car fuses that run the trailer turn signals.
Okay, there's getting into electrical troubleshooting can be involved, so I've got to kind of give you the short answer here. Yeah. When you've got to go through and you've got to find where the circuit is shorting. Now, I will say with turn signals, and I've run into this a couple of times with trailers and with motorhomes, is that the problem happens in the light assembly itself. So if the wrong bulb was installed, it will do that. If it's gotten corroded or if it's bent at all, sometimes they can make a contact inside. Other than that, it's a matter of isolating it and trying to find where the short is and locating that.
All right, well, I got a prize to give away here. We're going to give away this book, brand new book called Winnebago Nation, and this is really good. It's kind of, yeah, have you read it?
I have, yeah. You gave me the.
Oh, I gave you a copy of it. Yeah, it's just about the story of RVing and why people have done it. And we just got it in at rvbookstore.com, but it's really, really good. So my question is this: what states border Montana? And the first person on chat to answer that correctly, we'll send this to. What states border Montana? And you get Winnebago Nation. Good book. Okay. What states border Montana? Big state, good state, fun state, beautiful state, Montana. Everybody should go to Montana. And
looking forward to getting there sometime.
Yeah, go to the Oxford Cafe in Missoula. They have brains and eggs. It's a ritual for all the new college students there to have brains and eggs at the Ox. Been there forever and ever and ever. And yeah, so hopefully we'll get somebody who will answer that. Get out your atlas if you don't know the answer. Okay, I want to thank again Larry McGaugh at RV Comfort Systems. Oh, no. Hatchlift was the sponsor this time. Hatchlift for sponsoring this final segment of our 45-minute webcast, our very first one. A little rough on the edges this time. We will get better. We've got features planned. And again, thanks to all our sponsors, including Hatchlift. You've been great. It was so kind of you to just trust that some people would see this. And we're going to do our best to have a big audience for this because we really believe in providing good information to RVers, helping them out, and entertaining them too if we can. Have a little fun. We have fun in our office. We'll have fun on here. I don't know if you and I are, click and clack, but it'd be pretty tough to top those guys.
It is. We'll have to work on a routine a little bit, but they're from here in Massachusetts, so we should be able to do something.
Yeah. We don't have those accents. You don't have that accent. That's because you're from New York. But
that's it.
all right. Let's see. Let me take this one over here. From Carolyn Brackey. We are just starting out the learning and dreaming process to be an RVer. We're on the fence about whether to get a motorhome or fifth wheel toy hauler. Do you have any thoughts or tips? Whoa, usually it's the motorhome or a fifth wheel, but not a toy hauler, so those are kind of different animals, aren't they? I always say, it's all about your own preferences. I don't think we can answer that, Chris. We don't know what you're going to do with it, where you're going to go. I always say a motorhome is great. if you just like walking into the back and cooking a meal, having a snack, taking a nap, whatever you want to do on the road, there you go into a campground, you level it up, you're ready to go. You don't have to unhitch any of that stuff. However, then when you're all hooked up, unless you have a tow car, then you gotta drive it to go to the store or do your sightseeing. So, fifth wheel, travel trailer, you've got the truck. So, I think for full-timers, that's better. If you're going to go stay somewhere for a while, then you've got a vehicle. I mean, it's really a personal preference. So whether to get a motorhome or fifth wheel, I can't answer that. Any thoughts, Chris?
Well, the fifth wheel toy haulers have come a long way. We've seen them at the RVIA show in Louisville and other shows that they're starting to convert that quote-unquote toy hauler space into a better living area. And so it does allow some neat flexibility, and a lot of people use that space for a lot of things, whether it's hobbies or business or the toys themselves. So that's very flexible. The biggest difference, I think, between motorized and a fifth wheel or a large travel trailer is square footage. I think people feel they have a little bit more room in a fifth wheel than in a motorhome. But I've had, except for a Class B motorhome and a Class C motorhome, I've had every other type of RV out there, and they all have their pluses and minuses. So it just depends what makes you feel good. You get in the RV and you really feel at home with it. That's the RV for you.
Okay, we have a winner in the contest, Roger M., who answered Indiana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wyoming. And I hope that's right, because otherwise I'm going to be real embarrassed. But so hopefully that's right. So I think that's the only thing we're going to give away. We'll try to give away a couple prizes each show, but unfortunately I messed up and should have given away one earlier. Although, you know what? I am going to give it away. I'm going to do it right now. This is really cool. This is a cool prize. I was tempted to keep this. The world's smallest walkie-talkies. Look at that. Tiny. And all you got to do is, if you read the newsletter today, the RV Travel newsletter on page 2, there's a secret phrase. And you got to be first one to email us. We've only got 3 minutes left on this show. Let us know, and then we'll let you know if we'll get back to you after that. So, what's the secret phrase? First person with that gets the world's smallest walkie-talkies. These would be great for like backing up. You got somebody in there driving, and then the co-pilot can go out, and they're so compact. What a great deal. Well, we only have a couple minutes left. I think we're pretty much done with questions. I want to thank you all. Next week, I hope to have Mike Sokol on here with us, and hopefully Chris too. Mike is the leading expert on RV electricity, and this guy knows everything. And we've actually run a lot of Mike's stories in the past, and we've had letters from readers who've said that what they've learned from Mike has saved their lives, or at least saved them from a real problem. RVs will not shock you, but when they're hooked up improperly, a hot skin condition can develop, and you can get shocked, or you can even get killed just by touching your RV. Mike will also talk about what to do in a lightning storm, what kind of RVs will protect you, which won't. Chris, Mike, he knows his stuff, right?
He sure does, and he's been involved in electricity his entire life. He's an engineer, and he does a lot with the music industry, and has taught them a lot of things about shocks, and he got involved in the RV industry and applied those concepts here, and has done just a fantastic job. Our good friend Gary Bunzer, the RV doctor, is good friends with him and works with him also quite a bit. And we have a few of his videos right here on the RV Travel channel, so you can take a look at those.
Yeah, and again, if you're if you're watching, you're an expert in some aspect of RVing, please contact me at chuck@rvtravel.com, and certainly we're going to do this show every week, so we'd love to have you on, and for a few minutes or for the whole show if it's particularly interesting. Also, if you have an RV related business, we'd like to become a sponsor like those great sponsors this time, then rvpoweroutlet.com, I'll mention them again, hatchlift.com, and rvcomfortsystems.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
And please visit their websites. I think that's pretty much going to wrap us up. Any final thoughts, Chris? We got about 30 seconds.
Just thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we look forward to future programs here, and keep up that RV maintenance. It will make your investment in your RV and your travels a lot more enjoyable.
Okay, we have a winner. David Lee won the world's smallest walkie-talkies. You lucky guy, David. You are lucky.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I wish I
Excellent.
could keep them, but we'll send them to you. So email me at chuck@rvtravel.com with your address, mailing address, and we'll get those sent off to you. Somebody's phone is ringing. We got to go. Okay, take care. See you next time.
Thanks. Bye-bye to everybody.